Accent and an American smile. And folks, you know he's the king of sad style. He always blows like a hurricane. Ladies and gentlemen, the human Fitbit, Leigh Howison.
I've got nothing. That's the best intro anyone's ever given me for anything.
He blows like a hurricane, folks. Trust me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trolling the Territory. I'm Isaac Riston, and I'm joined, as the description reminds you, the human Fitbit, Leigh Howison, all the way in Nashville, Tennessee. Reminder, folks, this is a show where we discuss professional wrestling, and we have no right to fucking do so. But as lifelong fans and audio engineering nerds and people that have some free time, we thought, why not record this? Because little peel behind the curtain, we do this and have done this ever since we met each other. We'll pick probably once a week, once a month sometimes. We'll have a full-on conversation about what is going on. So let's talk about what is going on immediately off the bat. The show's a little late, real life, folks. But this past week, I'm glad we kind of took a couple of days to let everything sink in because stuff even happened yesterday. Yeah. The thing that jumped out of the page for me that I haven't seen yet, I don't know if anybody else has seen this yet, Allegiant Stadium is mandating masks for SummerSlam.
Yep. That was Nevada's passed that mandate for all indoor gatherings now. So they either have to do that or move to a different arena, which isn't going to happen. So,
First Dance ticket sales, right? AEW Rampage in Chicago. We saw the tease for that from Tony Schiavone on Dynamite, and then we got treated to a Darby Allin segment where he later said that he was talking about Sammy Guevara, but I don't. That's ridiculous. How are the ticket sales doing? Did it sell out?
I believe so. Wasn't it something like 12,000 were in pre-sale, and then the rest sold out in 4 minutes when they went on sale on Monday?
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding at all. I guess all you got to do is just even tease.
Holy cow!
Listen, I guess all you have to do is just even tease CM Punk's involvement in anything, and that's it. And it's in Chicago too. You got to remember that. That's a big deal. They know this. They know this. And
the United Center is way bigger than the Sears Center or wherever the hell they were at the last time. Mm-hmm. That's a huge. Hey, hats off to them. Yeah, we're playing that game of hinting CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and maybe even possibly Bray Wyatt.
I don't know. All of them, everyone,
all of them,
anyone that gets fired.
Do you think perhaps we can give him some more? Which, by the way, that was Vince McMahon just putting his giant dick right on the table and just going like, sure, that's. Did you see what Nick Khan had to say after that though?
I did. Wait. Immediately after.
Yeah, immediately after. So, for those of you that don't know, Vince McMahon made a kind of I don't think it's necessarily a passing comment, but more of like a playful, like, and it was done the day. That was the day before they released Bray Wyatt officially?
It was the day that it was when they were reporting their quarterly sales and that conference. That's when they were talking about it.
Right.
I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the comment where Nick Khan said our only competition is what is it? Sleep.
Everything. Yeah, our only competition is sleep, and that was like a rib on Vince because that's I don't sleep. I picked the wrong day to listen to Busted Open, the show from Monday.
I can't do it. I can't listen to him anymore. I can't listen to it. Yeah, I mean, you finish your statement, but I would like to continue that.
I would love to talk about Bully.
Yeah.
So Vince made the whole comment about I don't see AEW as competition. Go ahead.
Specifically, I think this is important to note. He said, I don't view AEW as competition in the way that I view WCW as
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
That's what he said, which is important. Because
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that I enjoyed the most that really, Bully's just putting so much heat on Nick Khan, which is hilarious. Oh man, I'm saving it. But Nick Khan basically said, like, no, everything is our competition. Anything that's airing on TV, anything that's streaming on Peacock, anything is our competition. That's the right way to think about it, I think, personally.
Yes.
Nick's comment really resonated with me, and I'm sure it does with you as far as entertainment goes. Whenever musicians go down and play on Broadway, we're not trying to compete with Jason Aldean. He does that all day. We're just trying to give these people in this room a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Yeah. And same thing with any artist that we've played for, any albums that we've played on or produced. It's the same kind of thing. It doesn't need to be this measuring stick. And what happens is when people are insecure, like Bully, who, you know what I mean? Like there's just all these things that have passed Bully by because he's made bad decisions and he has had to, deal with the consequences of those bad decisions, like a lot of us do.
Yeah.
And so for him on Monday's show, when they're talking about, basically they're kind of talking about what's happening on Raw, what happened on SmackDown, and how they're just disgusted with WWE. To me, it felt like I was listening to Fox News because they were spending so much time doing this whole whataboutism bullshit. And I think the only criticism they gave to AEW last Thursday was just like, hey, there wasn't that kind of thing, and that's okay. But this is revolutionary. And you do a really good Dave LaGreca, so I'll let you do that. But
Bully!
God. Did you have anything to add about Busted Open? Sorry.
Not about Busted Open. I'm going to say this about them is they will, depending on what week it is, they will say whatever it is to get themselves over with whichever company they think they need to get over with first.
Right.
That's how they prioritize their show. They are shills of every show. That's the problem. Is there's no real opinion they may as well be on all of their payroll because they're like a human highlight reel. It's like a TMZ highlight reel. I can't listen to them. It's not real. That's what it is. It's not real.
I think sometimes Mark Henry gives some sage advice. Most of the time it's about food.
Right.
And that's not a dig, Mark. Bully gets a little too, like, I think Bully has too much of himself in his monitor, if that makes any sense.
Totally. Absolutely.
Bully, I think, didn't get called enough for shoot interviews, and he's trying to take it out on this show.
Yeah, that's perfect. That is the best way to put it. Thank you.
Okay,
which comes off as really fake. So man, I want to say your analogy with musicians and a bar musician in their own bubble, trying to create their own experience for the people that are there to see them, and not thinking about what the big artist is doing on the road somewhere. That I think that's really good. And I have my own analogy, and I want to see if you follow my train of logic here.
Yeah,
this is after watching a really terrible movie the other day. I have decided that as a viewer, the WWE are Fast and the Furious. Like, they are that franchise. They are that demographic. Okay. And I'm talking about kids, family fun that don't really care about the quality. It's more about just the spectacle and having fun.
Yeah.
And I say that because I watched this movie, and man, not to go on a tangent, but it was one of the worst scripted, cut, spliced action movies I've ever seen.
Did you finally watch The Marine?
I've seen the listen. I've seen The Marine. I want to tell you about this. Like, I know this is not wrestling related. I just want to tell you because to me it relates to the WWE.
Okay.
How unrealistic some of their dialogue is. So,
oh yeah, okay.
So there was
I'm with you already.
Right. There's this scene where Dom, which is Vin Diesel's character, and his wife, I think it's Michelle Rodriguez.
I couldn't tell you.
Whatever. They are first introduced to John Cena, who plays Vin Diesel's brother, long lost brother, like whatever in the movie, and he he rolls in his car, and they're in another car, and like they have a standoff in their cars, and then it literally cuts to them chasing him, like they are one car length behind. That's it. They are right up against his bumper, and in this horribly spliced dialogue cut, Michelle Rodriguez turns to Vin Diesel and says, "Was that?" I think his name's Jacob. Was that Jacob back there? Or was that really Jacob back there? And I'm thinking to myself, back there? You mean the guy that's literally right in front of you in a car that you're chasing right now? Do you understand? This is, and I looked at this and I went, this is WWE. It doesn't matter. Dialogue doesn't matter. It's all about flashy colors. It's about like having a good time and everyone feeling good. And that's it, man. Because as long as you say family and like, and you have explosions,
right?
It's great.
It's a Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah.
No one will ever know.
AEW, on the other side of this, AEW are slasher films.
Okay.
They have a diehard following. They always will.
Right.
They might pick up a few extra here and there, but like it's never going to be 8 million viewers.
Right. No, it won't be. Maybe. I don't know.
You'll get some nostalgic fans, like the ones that love old slasher films that are trying to recreate that and realize that modern slasher picks are nowhere as good as the oldies.
Right.
To me, they are never going to be in competition. Now, I could end up being completely wrong, and AEW completely changes everything about their programming when they have when their entire roster becomes all ex WWE and they fire everyone else.
Well, the roster that's on their that's on their programming, sure,
Right.
like their most valuable programming. Which, speaking of value,
yes,
so they got a promo code for Domino's.
Yes.
Retail me not. Okay, so WWE is Fast and the Furious. AEW are slasher film. I'm going to say slasher film remakes because no matter how hard they try, I don't think they're going to get close to. They might see. Here's the bullshit part about all this. We talked about this last week. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and now we've got Wyndham Rotunda available on the market. Right. Yeah. I think what was it Cody said? He's like, I'm not sure. No, he was talking about Braun Strowman, I think.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Braun Strowman. Sorry. What's he gonna do? Breathe on everybody? He can't work.
Choo choo.
Yeah, dude. Okay, wait a second. If he came out to Quad City DJs, come on, ride the train, dude, I would be pumped for that. Anyway,
it would be the locomotion.
That's
more like it, though.
If he came out dressed as Captain Lou Albano, oh my God, and feuded with Darby.
Oh my God.
See, now that I said that that's something stupid like that, it's going to have Britt Baker's going to be his manager.
That's fine with me. As long as she doesn't wrestle, that's fine.
Hey,
sorry.
She's okay.
She's okay. Not great.
She's okay. She's better than the Zelina Vega. Anyway, we'll talk about that.
Come on.
Hey, all right. So I want to talk about Bray's release.
Sure.
I don't know if we're going to be able to add anything to it that other people haven't already said. I didn't see this. Ronda Rousey chimed in.
Yeah.
She's got all. Okay, can I read what's here?
Yeah, please. And
Okay.
read me. You know what? Read Mickey's first.
Okay. Well, I want to get to Mickey's second, and there's
Okay,
a very
all right,
good
all right.
reason for that.
Okay.
But because here's why.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey's take on Bray Wyatt is so credited.
Yeah.
She has every right to call this horse shit out. This is what Ronda Rousey had to say. I've seen you same fans chanting hashtag we want Wyatt last night, chanting we want beach balls over Bray Wyatt performing. If the WWE treated him like he was expendable, it was because you ungrateful idiots did it first.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of support her statement. I kind of don't, but it is something that she, of all people, can say. She went through the entire like arc of like Nikki Ash experienced on Friday. It was a great big deal at the start of the show. At the end of the show, anything that you did in the first half of the show to get Nikki over, you destroyed and no one cared.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about what Mickie James has to say.
Well, before you get there,
Yeah, go ahead.
I want you to search all over Twitter. You don't have to do it right now. We can do it after. And I want you to show me anywhere else that you see hashtag we want Wyatt. Or give Wyatt a chance, or any of these things, or any of these movements, like we got for Naomi, like we got for like a few different people.
Kofi.
Yeah. I want you to look everywhere outside of Ronda Rousey's tweet. As a heel, by the way, like this is her like playing up her persona, which is great, and she's the only one. Like there is no.
Is
movement.
her persona an insecure person who's no longer active?
100%.
Okay, she nailed it.
No, I mean, look, that persona right there is straight up heel. It's ungrateful. She hates the fans. Like that, she's still playing the same character.
Good.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
and whether someone wrote that for her or not, if she did that herself, I think I'm going to give her the credit. But she is the only one that I saw, and we follow a lot of people. We try and keep up with the hashtags. We kind of try and keep up with the trends. I didn't see this whole movement for Wyatt, not at all.
I mean, I saw where people were chanting, "We want Wyatt" before the show started.
This is after he got fired.
Yeah. This was from Raw last night.
This only happened once he got fired.
Yeah.
I'm saying, these people are on your roster. They're not being used on TV.
Right.
Like, I have not seen this movement. Again, we got it for Naomi, but we didn't get it for Bray Wyatt. So I'm with her. Shut the fuck up. You're just complaining because you want to complain, because anything WWE does at this point is evil, you know?
Well, look, Bray, that whole thing could have been really neat. I really wish we could have gotten some sort of like closing of the book with the whole Alexa thing at Mania.
Payoff. Sure.
And I guess we won't know for another 90 days, or maybe even longer than that. It may be Christmas before we find out why that whole thing was discontinued, depending on the language in his contract. And it's kind of silly to think that we're like that's how strong of a hold wrestling backstage has over wrestling in ring.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
crazy.
I can't think of any. Can you think of any other sport that there's that much speculation on what's happening behind the scenes?
Nah,
because you can literally go any direction with this, you know?
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see that. But anyway, anything else about Ronda Rousey?
Not about Ronda Rousey, just about, again, that the movement. If they wanted him bad enough, they would do what they did for Matt Hardy back in what year was that he got released because it wasn't his fault, like the whole Lita Edge thing. Do you remember that?
No, remind me.
When Edge and Lita cheated like on their respective spouses, and Matt Hardy being Lita's spouse, and they had to be on the road together, and eventually it got really awkward, and then they ended up releasing Matt Hardy.
I remember that. I honestly remember that Matt Hardy got released. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and there was a massive fan movement for him at the time. They kept chanting him at every show, and eventually, Vince McMahon reinstated him and said, "Your fan base is overwhelming. It speaks for itself. So let's do this the right way." And they brought him in, kind of like breaking in through the crowd. I mean, he was actually physically released from his contract. This wasn't a kayfabe, but sorry, a kayfabe gimmick.
Right.
They brought him back because fans wanted it.
Wow.
Where's the movement for Bray Wyatt? It's not. You know what? In 2 weeks' time, no one's going to give a shit that he got released because no one gives a shit about any of these wrestlers anymore. They just give a shit about complaining.
Well, folks, that was a great show. That was a great show. We're so happy for our. We don't have sponsors yet, but anyway, Mickie James.
Yeah.
Had a very, very fun clap. I'll let you bestow us with that information.
Okay. So on the news that Bray Wyatt was released and the tweet went out from the official WWE account, Mickie James retweeted and quoted and said, "I think what you meant to say was, thank you so much for coming up with such an incredible gimmick time and time again," in parentheses, "one so cool and over, we really didn't know how to book it right. So we just gave it to someone else so we can still make all the money off of it and let you go."
Damn!
Mickie tweeted out before making clear this wasn't a shot at Alexa Bliss, because we know Mickey's reputation with lifting up the entire women's. I'm going to say the entire women's division of the planet, because she's what she's doing with it.
She is the universal champion. Let's be real.
She's awesome.
Yes.
But just a fact stated as to what WWE has done. She continues, "This isn't against Alexa. I love her. She's an incredible performer who is killing it in a role she was given. She always does. We as artists take every role we're given and turn it into gold. He, she, they both did that. Like it or not. Facts are facts. Sorry. So sorry if that offends you." And that's it.
I haven't seen anybody be able to clap back at a situation like that. And also kind of be like, hey, by the way, I'm not digging Alexa. I do want to say this. The segment last week with Alexa and Dewdrop and...
Oh, God.
Okay. Step aside everything else.
I know.
Alexa's doing a great job. Did you see some of her facials? Yeah. Especially when she tripped and she was like, oh, that wasn't there earlier. Yeah, it was amazing. That's not what she said exactly, but she looked great. Right. She's killing it. You know what wasn't over?
What?
Lying about referees sexually assaulting female talent and selling pills to male talent.
Oh, God.
Mark Carano, ladies and gentlemen, enemy of the state #1.
Okay, I didn't know about any of this.
So. You didn't know about any of this. Okay. No. So allegedly, and I can't, you can tell there's not a link here. Allegedly, Mark Carano was fired over Mickie James' bag. Apparently, his ex said that he had stole some championship belts and put them underneath the guest bed of his guest home. Wow. So he's got a bunch of ring-worn belts that nobody knows about, which is hilarious. Everybody, a lot of people have said that he's kind of a dick and kind of an asshole, seems legit, especially if you're in that position. You kind of got to be that way. But
this is amazing.
Yeah. Isn't that nuts?
Oh my God. Pills to male talent.
Well, yeah, he said he basically tried to get a referee fired and just started a bunch of rumors about him and told him to different people. And those different people obviously got disgusted and reported it. And they were like, no, that's not a thing.
What a tool.
Yeah. And I think the guy even got fired, and then he was like, hey, can I please talk to, I think he was trying to talk to Triple H or somebody, and they wouldn't call him back. He was like, no, seriously, this ref I'm speaking of, he was like, no, I really need to clear my name. I know I've been fired, all that stuff, but none of this is true, and I know where it came from, and it's Mark fucking Carano.
Yeah.
Wow. Unreal. Last Unreal news thing, Queen of the Ring final. Right, we're finally going to get a Queen of the Ring, which I think is pretty fun. But the final match is going to be in Saudi Arabia in October.
I think that's a mistake.
I think it's a mistake to go back to Saudi Arabia.
for sure. Unless you just purely want to just send your veterans over there, and who cares?
Well, hey, a trip to Saudi means a really big payday,
Yeah.
which probably means Brock Lesnar.
You think he would? You think he would do that?
I think they're going to I think they're going to try to get rid of Brock before they bring back The Rock.
Okay.
Just me. I don't know.
You don't think they'd try and have them both on at the same time?
I don't think The Rock's going to go to Saudi.
Oh, no, that's not what I mean. I'm saying you don't think that they would try and have them both on TV at the same time, like if they could.
If they could.
What would be the logic in trying to get rid of one before the other?
I don't know, because everything is basically a WWE segment these days.
That's true. There's nothing makes sense.
Nothing makes sense. Speaking of nothing makes sense, now that we're done trying to filter through the news, Ric Flair got let go. He asked for it. Is this because of Charlotte?
I mean, he has said that he was not happy with the way that he was being booked with Lacey Evans and all that. He felt very uncomfortable with it and all that stuff. So
did you listen to the pop-up show with Ric Flair on the Jeff Jarrett podcast?
I didn't, no.
Okay, there are several points where Ric Flair starts going on a tangent and they play the winding up tape machine sound effect. And then he goes like, Conrad's like, yeah, you can't talk about it. We'll edit that out. Like, there's so many parts.
That's amazing.
And he starts to talk about Ashley, Charlotte, and then it speeds up. And then he was like, yeah, I don't think anybody knows about that yet. Oh, really? And he's like, no, nobody knows. Anyway, did you get a chance to see Nick Gage?
That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, good. Listen, I hope he saved up some money and
he doesn't need to. He's about to get a bunch from Tony Khan.
Do you think he'll go to AEW?
Yes.
To do what?
To do what he's been doing the last 15 years of his career. Nothing. Nothing of any worth.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely I do. Based on his track record, yes.
Yeah.
He will do anything for money.
I mean, I can't blame the guy.
No,
I'm a little carny too.
We joked about this on our text thread, but like literally, Ric Flair is the ultimate opportunist. Who's giving out free money? Oh, I'm there. Cool. Vince, can I get my release? That's it, man. Like, that's Ric Flair.
I think with his level of heritage, I feel like if he asked for his release, they would just be like, oh yeah, sure. I'm sorry. You were still getting paid.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Talking about getting paid, India is now going to get AEW wrestling. This is probably a lot bigger deal than I think it's being reported on.
Yes.
But beginning August 15th, Eurosport will begin airing AEW's weekly flagship shows, Dynamite, Rampage, and additionally, Eurosport India will be airing AEW pay-per-views starting with September's All Out.
Yeah.
That is huge. Congratulations to everybody in AEW. Wow.
It is. And it's a great bargaining chip for them now. Because now they're like, hey, we're on the world market. This is not just a regional thing. So when they start talking to legit huge stars, like people like The Rock or Brock Lesnar, they can be like, what's the difference? We're in these markets too.
Dude,
now we can help each other. So
that's so fun.
That's the difference. So that it is a huge deal.
Outside of news, I haven't been this pumped about wrestling in a minute. I think it's time.
I think it's time too.
I think it's time. Let's do wrestling. First up, Monday Night Raw from Kansas City on July 26th. And we start out with my triple DQ, which is this Nikki Ash promo. Okay. I wrote a lot.
I like how you put the promos in there. I know I did not write a lot. I'm
I wrote
Jesus,
a lot.
You wrote
about
a lot.
I wrote a lot about this.
Oh my God.
So I honestly think that WWE is piping in chants now. to get the crowd to follow along. And I don't blame them. We're all sheep.
Like they haven't done that for years. Haven't they done that for years?
I don't know. I don't know. But I think they're piping it in when it feels right, and we just go for it.
Yeah.
Think about, when was the last time you were in an arena and everyone's chanting at the same time? It can't happen. It's impossible because sound travels around that arena in like multiple different directions. So if you ever been to like you've been to a,
I was going to say ahead. Soccer matches. We're kind of our own thing though.
Thank you, please. And you're also outside and there's really nothing. It's going straight up. Mm-hmm. Even at Bridgestone, by the time I heard the other side of by the time you start that, the other side hears it later. So when you're talking, they're clapping. So there's this constant back and forth. So to me, it doesn't make any sense when we hear a unified chant anymore. I feel like somebody's sitting in the back, they've mic'd the audience, they hit record, and then they pipe it and it goes through. Yeah. There's no reason why they can't do that. I don't know. But Nikki goes on to say, in the past, when I've reached for the stars, I just didn't have the confidence that was needed.
Why is this happening over and over
I was so afraid to fail. But then one day I realized, if I fail, I fail. It's not a big deal. I'm still me. Oh. And when I put this outfit on, it gives me confidence. And it reminds me, and I want it to remind all of you, that no matter what, if you believe in yourself, you can overcome all of the odds. Then she says, it worked for me, it can work for you. We can all almost become superheroes. Oh, God.
Fast and the Furious 9.
Hey, you're proving. Listen, I'm about to prove that point. Then Charlotte comes out. After about 3 minutes, Charlotte gets caught up and accuses Nikki of stealing her title. And by caught up, I mean she was tripping all over her promo. It got kind of weird. And then we get that one scene kid from youth group, Rhea Ripley. She comes out. I'm blown away that we're still getting a Rhea Ripley chant.
Why? You would really rather see Nikki, I'm going to pretend to be a superhero, pseudo the Hurricane, over Rhea Ripley? Come on. I just can't. I can't see that.
I don't want to see them all in the ring at the same time.
No.
I mean, you know what I mean? Even it out. This kind of gets to my point of why this match got my triple disqualification.
Yeah.
Because shame on all three of them for even being involved in this, including the two authority figures. So anyway, Rhea Ripley comes out. Yeah. I don't care what she says. Nikki says that her butterfly represents a metamorphosis of the women's division.
See?
Who the writes this? When we then get a back and forth between all three competitors, and who won the pony? The authority figures come out. Can we get a new segment, please? I have seen this for the last 10 years. And you know what? It's another triple threat match. My other tap out was Eva Marie and Dewdrop versus Tamina and Natalya. But it looks like we probably won't be seeing much of Natalya for a couple of months. Something happened to her knee. She's having surgery and some MRIs and stuff.
Yeah, this last thing they reported was actually just going to be a few weeks.
Okay,
she was already off crutches, so.
That's good.
Yeah, it looks like our countouts were pretty much the same. I've been trying, as you know, to skip over a lot of promo sections anyway, because it's either horribly scripted and boring, or
it's John Cena.
No, I just meant in WWE, it's usually scripted and monotonous and robotic, or in AEW where they don't know how to talk at all. So I just try and skip over the promo parts and not give a shit. So I'm trying anyway, but yeah, my tap out was actually Dewdrop versus as well. And I said Dewdrop versus who cares? I don't give a shit. I don't know.
Yeah, man, Eva Marie. That match, I'll tell you what was my tap out. Lily, a doll. A fucking doll interrupts 4 women having a battle on a giant Titantron and states that it's now the Lily Lucian.
Mm.
Lily is the reason why Tamina and Natalia are still champions.
Yeah,
This is ridiculous.
it is ridiculous.
That's my tap out. That was also your tap out?
That was my tap out.
What was your 1 count?
Damian Priest defeating Sheamus in a non-title bout. They're slow building him, which is great for me. It's like it's in its own bubble. I don't think people care enough yet, but I think if they do it this way, it was a fight. It was a match.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything stupid. There's no stupid gimmicks, and it was a clean win, and I liked it.
It was a very in the middle of the damn ring.
Yeah.
Clean pin. Yeah.
Like not too clean because of the whole like breaking his nose again and whatever, but like it like he took out Sheamus. Sheamus is a big guy.
Well,
it was believable.
And what a great person to kind of put somebody who's new into a feud with.
Yes.
Sheamus is great.
Yeah.
I'm glad they got rid of what were the guys that were called? The dude with the flower and the sticking it in people's shorts. What was that all about?
Garza.
Yeah,
Angel.
I'm glad that's over with.
Yeah, me too. And for as much as I enjoyed it while it lasted, it was clearly a filler segment. The whole Humberto Carrillo thing.
Yeah.
It was exciting for a couple of weeks, but it was really there just to build Sheamus as a heel. That's all, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Like this is in any other world, this is how you build a baby face. Is you spend weeks building up your bad guy, and then you have the savior come in and say,
Right.
"I'm going to kick your ass," and then he does. And I just hope they don't completely mess it up by putting him in more Miz segments. But they are.
Next time, Saxon, you should carry a toaster. God, Corey Graves was hitting it. My 1 count was Mason T-Bar versus Mustafa Ali and Mansoor.
Wow. Okay.
And I want to tell you why. Dude, Mansoor is going to be a huge deal. Go back and watch their interaction before the match. At one point in the middle of the match, Ali does a dive to the outside onto T-Bar, and the camera pans over to Mansoor just like geeking out, and Ali goes, "What are you doing?" And Mansoor goes, "That was awesome." He was just stunned. It was a good back and forth, got my 1 count. I was very surprised, but I almost gave it my kick out, but nothing else made me happy on this show at all. What was your 2 count?
You're not gonna like it.
Oh, does it have to do with Rhea Ripley?
No, it was the main.
Like it.
My 2 count was the main event, but again, this was in a vacuum. I'm not counting promo segments for this because I didn't watch them. I skipped through half of the show, so I just landed on the main event, and it got my 2 count because the match itself was fun. Charlotte and Nikki, it was fun. Charlotte defeating Nikki, that I liked that. You didn't expect I honestly expected Nikki to go over.
Same,
you know, and that was
or
cool.
an interference. Yeah,
and it was cool to see Charlotte go over and laughing in Nikki's face, and Nikki being like, "Well, shit," you know, like.
And
then
the promo that happened afterwards.
I like it. Yeah, that too. So that was
Corey Graves said something hilarious. He compared the title change from Charlotte to Nikki as it were like trading in your Cadillac for a Volkswagen Beetle. It's fun. It'll get some laughs with your friends for a day or two, but when it comes down to it, you'd much rather have your Cadillac back.
I love him.
Corey Graves, you're a god.
I love him.
You are a god.
Yes.
My 2 count were Viking Raiders versus AJ and Omos.
Honestly, it tied for my 2 count. The only reason I didn't put it down is because Raw has this. I know this happens on every show across the board. It's not just a WWE thing, but it somehow sticks out on Raw more than any other show, where they just do the same matches every week, and it's very apparent on Raw. I'm just kind of overseeing AJ and Omos versus the Viking Raiders. That's all. Like I was like, it was a good match. It just didn't do anything for me because I'm over the Viking Raiders as the challengers, and that it sucks because I agree with everything that you said. I think that they are great. Their gimmick is awful.
All right.
Yeah. Which we'll get to.
I didn't have a 3 count.
Okay.
Nothing really made me go like, oh, this won the night. But I will say Riddle versus John Morrison. When John Morrison and Miz were coming out and Corey Graves went, did you guys feel how humid it just got inside of this arena?
Moist.
Oh, at some point he said people would pay to be doused by the drip stick.
Oh, God. Jesus.
But you know what the finish was? AJ interferes and destroys Riddle's scooter.
Yep. I had a 3 count, but this is going to be me talking directly to our listener. Not you, because you're not going to agree. You're not going to agree to anything that I'm about to say.
Lay it on me.
My 3 count was NXT champion Karrion Kross defeating Keith Lee. Nothing to do with the booking of it, but just to do with the match. I like to see new blood. Keith Lee's back. I don't care if he lost. This is his chance to try and prove himself. And this is in the early stages of, okay, what am I going to do with this that I'm being given, this airtime? And I think that as far as match quality goes, the two of them put on a great show. That was it.
That's fair. There's nothing wrong with that. What do you think about Reggie?
Count out.
Okay. I just wrote make it stop. Why did R-Truth have the mic on the entire time?
I don't know. He's Britney Spears now, I get. Who cares? That's not like...
I mean, I like R-Truth.
You like watching him on TV, or you like him as he seems like a cool guy?
Both.
Okay. I like him because he seems like he's funny and he's a cool guy, but I'm done with the 24/7 shit. Especially putting on literally a Cirque du Soleil. Can I ask this? Do you think that his whole character is just a rib on AEW?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. But I'm done. I don't want to ever see him on my TV.
I like it how Monday he's Reginald and Friday he's Reggie. I'm just gonna do the David Letterman stack my papers now.
Yeah. I had a kick out. Did you have a kick out? Because I see your notes and it looks like you kind of agreed with me. The Bobby Lashley match and segment, I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the fact that Lashley acted like a man.
Yeah.
For the first time, I was like, he grabs the microphone out of MVP's hands and goes, I'll take them both on at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go. Here's my belt. Let's go. That was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. What else are you going to do with Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander right now?
Let him go.
I agree, and they might be the next out the door. But
yeah, I mean, it was great. I like Bobby Lashley looking strong. Goldberg wasn't on this episode, was he?
Nope.
So that's why I didn't.
That's why you liked it, and that's me too.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's Raw. Final grade, a C.
Yeah, that's very nice. I'll give it a C minus.
C minus. All right. C minus. All right. Added. All right. Dynamite. Fight for the Fallen.
Make it stop.
Oh man.
I started with my count out and tap out. It's so bad.
So the 10-man tag match, Adam Page and the Dark Order versus Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and the Good Brothers. That got your count out?
I got my count out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It also got my count out.
Great. Fight for the failing.
Yeah. Fight. Oh yeah. I did like. I want to touch on the gear for Adam Page and the Dark Order. I liked the purple flower jacket that Adam Page had on. I thought that was pretty dope.
I've enjoyed everything. I actually am a big fan of all of his ring gear and his whole gimmick. Like if done correctly, yeah, for sure.
When Justin Roberts announced Carl and Luke, nobody did a fucking thing. Did you hear that?
Yep.
Nobody cared. By the way, I didn't know that Kenny Omega was from North Carolina.
I didn't. I didn't know
I thought it was kind of interesting because I really don't like North Carolina. This entrance for if anybody didn't see it, they had like these custom entrances where like, what does it mean to be a cowboy? Like for Adam Page and the Dark Order, and then the Elite got the Space Jam intro.
Which, by the way, do you know that they paid $50,000 to license the Space Jam the music? Yeah, I did read that.
The entrance looked like a youth pastor came up with it, and that this could have been done at any lock-in during the 90s. And if you don't know what a lock-in is, you clearly are a stable adult male in your mid-30s. Rick Knox was the referee. Of course he was. And it's now time for a new segment that I don't have a soundbite for, but I might in post. A new segment we like to call JR is Over It.
That's great.
Callis says, the referee has lost control already. JR went, what a revelation. That never happens. Just like a fucking dick. Reminder, all the stars that are in the ring, right? Everyone is on their ass. You have all of these stars in the ring. Everyone in the crowd is on their ass. This in pretty much the entire match, nobody was standing up. At one point, I saw that Paige was headed to the top rope and the Elite were gathering on the outside. I assumed, hey, this is where Paige is going to do that somersault thing where he doesn't look. So I hit the 15-second fast forward button one time. He had just landed, and it was like they're in a headlock. Nobody reacted.
Yeah.
It's
so
like,
is it starting to happen? Is it starting to happen where people are like, okay, I've seen this a ton. So give me something bigger and worse and crazier,
Hey, a good listen is Eric Bischoff's 83 Weeks with Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash said the business was over when Mick Foley fell off the cell.
Yeah.
That's when it was over because you took it from being a work to a shoot.
And why is it what was said to Mick backstage immediately following that match by Vince McMahon? You remember when he said, "I appreciate everything you just did for the business for WWF, but don't ever do that again."
Yeah. If Vince is telling you not to do something again,
I kind of agree with Nash.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with Nash. But anyway, this match, we now see the end of the Dark Order getting a tag team title opportunity, and we also see the end of Adam Page getting a title opportunity against Kenny Omega. Go for it.
Okay. Something very interesting here, which I didn't bring up in the news segment, which I want to get your take on. I want to know what you think of the rumors that Page has decided to not renew his contract at the beginning of or the end of this year, which is why they decided to not give him the title opportunity and take him out of the heavyweight title contendership. Have you heard this?
No.
It's the first AEW, we're going to call him star, the first kind of like new blood star purely from AEW that there are rumors that he doesn't want to continue with that company anymore.
I'd love to see him in WWE.
Hell, I'd love to see him anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll watch New Japan illegally. So we get out of that atrocity. And that was my count out. Did you have a count out with that? That was your count out.
That was my count out. Yeah.
Did you have a tap out?
I did. I think we know what it is.
Tell me.
The tap out was the main event. It was Jericho versus Gage.
That is also my Tappa. Well, let's just go ahead and fucking talk about it. What can we say about this match that hasn't already been said by people that have more credibility in the industry than we do? Nothing. Well, I'm going to say this. I found it gross and lazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that nobody involved in that abortion of a televised event was seriously injured. I will never, and I mean this, as long as AEW is around, if there's ever anything that gets that gross, I'm not watching it. The fact that you even have to address that, oh, no, we sucked all the gas out of the light tubes. They're safe. Why the would you even tell me that? But here's at the same, and here's why I understand the deathmatch people. Okay.
Yeah.
I support you in pursuing whatever your happiness is, but stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Just stay away. What was the quote? Who said it?
You know my disdain for Disco Inferno just from our recaps, but also him as a person. I adamantly disagree with everything that he stands for. He's an anti-vaxxer. He's a raging lunatic when it QAnon. I'm gonna
fuck that guy then. Yeah,
exactly. I'm gonna paraphrase him. Basically, he said something along the lines of, this type of gratuitous violence without a sense of realism, without people believing it, just seems wrong. Now, like kayfabe is out the window, so why would you choose to do this? And I got what he was saying. He was saying with the audience not believing that this is real anymore, all this is just gratuitous violence. Like it doesn't mean anything. It's just disgusting. And yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah.
That was atrocious. It made me feel weird, to be honest. I was just like, this is what you think is okay to put on your TV? Whatever.
Yeah, I just scrolled through a little bit of Disco Inferno's tweets. Wow. Okay. What do you have any other thoughts about this awfulness that happened with Jericho and
the spot where they had the pizza cutter and the Domino's commercial running in picture right alongside, and Domino's came out and said, we are reevaluating our sponsorship.
I can't find, and maybe somebody out there in listener land can find it, I can't find Domino's statement on their website.
Interesting. But was it just
it was just tweeted? I can't find a tweet about anything. I all I know is that somebody by the name of Jenny Ferrer Petco told somebody McCarthy, Michael McCarthy of Front Office Sports, that they were upset with the pizza cutter incident, right? I don't know. That's all I see. On Friday afternoon, sources said Warner Media's ad sales team was trying to mend fences with Domino's and its agency partners, arguing the placement was an unfortunate coincidence. Warner Media hopes the world's largest pizza company will again buy commercial airtime on TNT's next AEW Dynamite telecast August 4th. Again, I think this is just us wanting to believe that that's a real issue.
Yeah.
I kind of don't think it's a real issue. I think it's a non-issue. And I think that's like, Chris Jericho is going to paint this to be like, we're changing the world, baby. Yeah. Like I think he's going to kind of soak that up and be like, that's delicious. People are talking. Like, no, they're not. I think this is all bullshit. Do you see a tweet from Domino's about any of this?
I'm trying to find it. I think you were right. It was just a quote by this representative.
Yeah. And two, it's kind of like I don't know, man. They didn't tweet anything on July 30th. So anyway,
it says front office sports. That's why.
Yeah.
So okay, so this person just told front office. That's all it says. Spokeswoman Jenny Fouracre Petco told front office sports Thursday night. That's so they clearly reached out for comment, and that was it. That was what they got.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
So you think it's made up?
I think it's made up. Yeah.
So why would they say all this other stuff? Why would Tony Khan comment on it?
Because Tony Khan's a mark. You can trick that guy. Come on. You're talking about the same guy that cut a promo on Nick Khan like a 2-year-old. I think he got worked. I don't think it's a real deal. Now, is it a big deal that they had that much grotesque violence 2 fucking weeks in a row? The previous week we had John Moxley stabbing what's his face in the head with a fork. Now we get pizza cutters, glass panes of glass sitting on top of tables or chairs, kendo sticks, light tubes. Like, really? Do we really need this?
So this paragraph here, it says, on Friday afternoon, sources said Warner Media's ad sales team was trying to mend fences with Domino's and its agency partners, arguing the placement was an unfortunate coincidence. Warner Media hopes the world's largest pizza company will again buy commercial time on TNT's next AEW Dynamite telecast on August 4th. You think that's all bullshit?
It's all bullshit because they aren't intentionally advertising on an AEW show. They are advertising on a show that has a demographic that's like who they're after. I don't think it has anything to do with wrestling, and I don't think it has anything to do with. I think it was an unfortunate coincidence that somebody's trying to make into a story that's not really a story because the match was stupid, and they're doing everything they can to shift the focus away from how bad Nick Gage looked and how bad Chris Jericho looked, and just how absolutely stupid that entire match was.
It goes to show the power of wrestling rumor, because there are so many major publications that reported on this, but they all go back to the same source, which is Front of House Sports, and Front of House Sports article itself has no link to the interview. It's just, we spoke to this person. Now, I could, on the flip side, you could say, well, that could have just been their first reaction before even assessing anything, and then they never brought it up again because they were like, it's a non-issue, and that's it, done. So of course it's not going to be on their website. It's not going to be. They're not going to make any more public statement about it.
I think if it was a true, if this was a real scenario, we would have heard about it a little bit more in the news. Now, granted, most major networks are.
We've heard about it a lot.
I haven't seen it on the Today Show.
Oh, no,
I haven't seen it on CNN. I haven't seen it show up in Yahoo News. I'm just kidding. Who reads Yahoo News? So my tap out was Jungle Boy, Christian, and Luchasaurus versus Private Party and Angelico.
I was gonna say it didn't even make my tap out. That match didn't make my tap out or count out because I would have to care about anyone in that ring enough for me to put it down, which I don't. So
yeah. Well, there you go. It's an honorable mention tap out for you. What was your one count?
Thunder Rosa and Julia Hart. I went back and forth a lot. I deliberated a lot on that because I don't.
That's fair.
I don't particularly find it. It's you know what's difficult? It's really difficult of all the shit on WWE programming. Every time I watch a female match on AEW, I'm reminded that it's still better on the other show.
Yeah, they're all kind of bad at the moment. Yeah, in my opinion, all female wrestling is kind of in the crapper at the moment.
Matches. I'm watching it from purely because I'm watching wrestling. I'm watching a wrestling match. I don't get the thing with Thunder Rosa. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm not there. Just like I don't
I
get
think
it with.
she should stop wearing the makeup though. That's all. That's all. I'm thinking.
Maybe, yeah. Man, I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get why is she so good. I don't understand. I just
Yeah, I
don't
don't
understand. And Julia Hart is green as hell. That's just my.
That's
opinion.
crazy. That match got your 1 count. To me, it sounds like that should have gotten your tap out.
There's too many other tap outs.
I know.
I had to pick something.
Did you have a kick out?
Yeah.
What was it?
My kick out was the the commentators marking out for themselves and for their own company after Darby teased Punk.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
They didn't even try and make it a storyline. After he said that, they all just went, yep. Yeah, we can't say anything. Future's looking bright for AEW. I'm like, oh my God, you guys can't even make a storyline out of it. You fucking marks.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do anything either, to be honest with you. I would, yeah. My kick out was the Britt Baker promo. Only because they're going to be in Pittsburgh, and that's where the Doctor resides.
Yeah.
And that they also tease that they're going to be getting someone to provide them a little bit of backup for Nyla Rose. So I'm anxious to see who that is.
Because of the broken wrist?
Yeah.
This week's injury for Britt Baker.
Yeah. Right. Accurate. My 1 count was the Miro promo. Mainly because he said this. He said 2 things motivate Miro: a vengeful god and a double-jointed wife.
Wow.
That got my 1 count, man. A vengeful god and a double-jointed wife. The Redeemer has spoken. Incredible.
Well, he's having fun now, so that's great.
Did you have a 2 count?
I actually put the FTR match down there before the rest of it happened, before the accident happened.
Yeah.
I thought they were putting on a good match. So,
Yeah.
they finished. So.
Oh, you done yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you done yet, darling? My 2 count was the segment with Darby and Sting, where Darby hits me with the "no matter if you think you're the best in the world."
Yeah.
I didn't have a 3 count for the show.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was it?
Lance Archer versus Hikuleo. I thought it was really cool to see both. I mean,
yeah.
I don't care anymore about him just because of how he's been used on that show, but it was really
He
cool
wasn't
to
even
see.
there.
Well, wait, he wasn't? I thought he was there with him.
No.
So, but it was great to see Haku.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
That was cool.
Hey, look.
He got involved.
I'll join you. Yeah, I'll join you on the 3 count for that one.
Yeah.
I'll get down with that. I did kind of find it weird, especially later in the show. Christian has a countdown in his Titantron intro.
Mm-hmm.
Lance Archer also has a "Everybody Dies" theme song. It's so weird. I do like Hikuleo. I think I'm saying that right. I hope he sticks around, even if it's in New Japan, or wherever. He's Samoan. Let's go, man. You know he's going to be great. Well, that was AEW.
Great.
Oh God. Let's talk about the Redeemer, known as SmackDown. Let's start with the 3 count because I kind of have a feeling we're on the same page. What was your 3 count for SmackDown?
Not what you put.
All right. What was it?
That was actually my kick out because it wasn't actually a match. My 3 count was the entire booking arc of Sasha Banks from start to finish of the show. Yes, it was obvious.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
We all knew that what was coming, but I thought it was done really well.
Let's go shot. I mean, as much as I don't like her, she's actually pretty good at her job.
Yeah, she is. It was exciting to see her. Came back, had a quick babyface run, really short, and then turned on her just like we all knew that she would. And it didn't feel like, oh, boring crap. It felt like thank you for giving us what we wanted. That was it.
And hey, look, did she even say anything?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, it was great.
You know,
she didn't.
I kind of like that.
You could hear, this whole fucking dialogue in the ring thing. Like there were a few things at the end, but no, she didn't. She didn't get on a mic. It was great. That's why I liked it.
Man, Bianca looked great.
She always does.
Man.
Yep.
My 3 count. Let me take a sip of fucking water here. Hang on. John Cena promo was my 3 count.
Okay.
Because we were gifted with a reminder of why we loved professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And then immediately, Baron fucking Corbin. I want to blow my microphone. The crowd started chanting asshole right as Baron Corbin first got out. Did you hear that somebody in production took the crowd mics and muted them so where you could only hear the mics from the 2 microphones in the ring and the headset microphones for Pat and Michael Cole?
Amazing.
It sounded awesome. Go back when they first start chanting, put in some good headphones, go back and listen when they start chanting asshole, and you hear the phase. And as soon as they're able to kind of dial it out and find where the section was in the arena and they mute it, they put it back in. Incredible. Amazing. Whoever figured out how to do that,
well done.
Good work. Baron Corbin informs us that he is now impotent.
I can't.
It was great. I love it that Cena gave him the attitude adjustment and then took the money back that he gave to him.
Yeah, right?
He just picks it up and puts it back in his pocket. Yes, this was the standard, box of gimmicks segment that WWE has.
Sure.
But when you have people like John Cena and hey, Baron Corbin's starting to rub off on me here. I'm digging this whole.
Oh, so you're a Brian Laster. Okay.
I'm turning around to it. I had to watch it a couple times just to see if am I into this? Yeah, I'm kind of into this now because let me take it back. I don't like Baron Corbin for a very logical reason now. Before, I didn't like him because he talked like this.
Yeah.
And everything was like this. And I'm the king.
Yeah.
Now he sounds like a mope like that. And he truly is one.
And he is one.
Yeah. And he is one. He is what he is.
Okay.
Finally, somebody picked up what I said earlier. If it looks like a duck and if it talks like a duck, just make it a duck.
Yeah, you're right. He sounds like a bum. He looks like a bum, so make him a bum.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're right. You are absolutely right.
What was your 2 count?
My 2 count was, let me pull this back up. I was reading your notes, which were really funny, by the way.
I'm leaving a couple of things out.
Yeah, yep. My 2 count was the 6-man tag for no other reason that I just still enjoy watching Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Honestly,
dude, they are great. That was pretty fun. That was a good house show match.
Exactly. That's all it was. I didn't give it because it was some amazing match or it did anything for me in that respect. But I just anytime they're on TV, I just gotta feel like I have to support them because they are awesome. So
did you have a tap out?
My tap out was Corbin's promo segments. Any of them. That's just for me. That's me. That's me personally. You are starting. It's starting to grow on you. Let's see if it grows on me next week because right now it's still not. I just don't. He has go away heat with me.
Yeah.
But my count out again is Reggie. I love Chad Gable, and I really am enjoying. I actually like what they have done with Otis, kind of making him this like
a butterbean.
This machine, yeah, this kind of monster pro wrestler, like Mr. Pro Wrestling. Right. I like it, and Gable's awesome. We've always known Gable's awesome. He's like mini Kurt Angle, but what a waste to put him in a match with this flipping idiot. I think the parkour stuff was perfected in such an amazing way by John Morrison.
And Kofi.
Yeah, more so.
No,
John
Kofi.
Yeah, but
Kofi had way more Mania moments, or not Mania moments, but Royal Rumble moments.
So did Shelton Benjamin. It doesn't mean that they incorporated parkour into their matches like John Morrison does.
Okay,
That's
fair.
what I mean. Like, this is his entire gimmick is just flipping. Like, he's not like wrestling. So to me, John Morrison already perfected the art of incorporating that into his matches. Why do we need an entire character that is just making fun of wrestling? That's
I don't know. When you put it like that, you're right.
I just, like, of all the people that you could be doing. Firstly, I mean, I'm sure you and I both agree that why do we need a 24/7 championship anyway? But the of all
Fast
the people,
and Furious, brother.
Fast and Furious, exactly. Of all the people on their roster that they could be giving TV time to, and they have to go outside to find an ex Cirque du Soleil guy to come in, and I just that kind of pisses me off. That's it.
I like it how he addressed, like, I thought my happiness was going to be, managing female wrestlers, and I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But then he got the 24/7 championship, and he's got this like new lease on life kind of thing, right? Okay. Kind of taking a babyface approach, right? If you were a heel, it'd be a little bit more annoying. But the fact that you're openly admitting that, like, I don't know, I see a little bit of humility in his character, and it's kind of fun to get invested in it.
And you know what? It goes to show just where wrestling is now and where that fan base is.
Yeah, I'm getting excited about an ex Cirque du Soleil guy, but I can't get into Nick Gage cutting open Chris Jericho.
No.
God, I'm old. Like 15 years ago, I would have been like, oh man, this is going to be incredible. Right now, I'm just like, that's great. I need to go to bed. Why am I staying up for this? This is so stupid.
Yeah, I know. But I just want to, my parting thoughts on this whole episode is that I think the actual real Forbidden Door is Randy Orton.
Okay. I am so glad, because we have to go out on a high note, because that whole thing about Reggie is just fucking stupid.
Yes.
Tell me about Randy. So what's going on?
I know this is a big fat nothing, and I get it. So you're gonna laugh at me, but have you noticed all the people that have been turning up in AEW are all people that in recent months have been either punted or beaten up or humiliated by Randy Orton?
Yeah.
On WWE TV, and the next time you see them, they're actually signed to AEW.
Yeah.
So to me, the real Forbidden Door is Randy Orton destroying ex talent on WWE and sending them to AEW. I think this is a big rib. I want it to be a big rib. Like I
want it to be
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so wait a minute. If he has an opponent, they end up in AEW, right?
Yeah. It's weird.
What happens with his tag team partners?
Oh God, I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
Because listen, he's been Matt Riddle, the original bro Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
That he is now Riddle again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't talk about his like current tag team partners or current roster stars. All I can talk about is if Ric Flair shows up in AEW, which I think we all know he's just going to, because how could he turn down that opportunity? Then everyone, Big Show, Mark Henry, Christian Cage, Ric Flair, Bray Wyatt, all these people that were all beaten by Randy Orton in the last 6 months, beaten up or beaten, are showing up in AEW. That's a weird, weird coincidence. Do you think there's something nefarious going on here?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Something strange is happening.
Well, okay. We didn't even give a grade to Dynamite because it doesn't deserve one.
Mm-mm.
What would you give SmackDown as far as a grade goes?
A B. It wasn't an A, but it was a B. I'll give it a B.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Raw C-, Dynamite no grade because it doesn't even deserve to go to the same school as any other form of reasonable entertainment.
Failed.
And SmackDown got a B. And I don't know. There's so much stuff that we get to look forward to each and every week in our adult lives. My thing to look forward to is this moment right here. I hope that we've been entertaining and that you've gotten to not think about stuff. And I'm probably going to edit out some of the things that I said earlier that may be a little too much, but if you didn't hear it, great. If you did, suck it. I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Sorry, this show's up a little bit late, but for everybody on the team, including Norman, Kevin, what were your two dogs' names?
That's amazing.
Bruce
and Max.
Max, okay. For everybody here at Trolling the Territory, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.